All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observation, and entertainment. I ask that you comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Majors.
Yeah, that's another guy. But
Okay.
That goes to and I know Beanie said that about colorblind, but unfortunately I will disagree with her on that. Go ahead, Miss Summer, again. Or is you done? If
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I
didn't. Yeah, I'm finished. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to raise my hand. Yeah, but yeah, that's
DFG.
Yes.
This is Kim.
Go ahead,
I
Ms.
think
Kim.
the whole thing was about the recorded phone call, and the statement she said was, "I don't. Do we have to go out?" And he was like, "No." And then she says, "Well, I don't want to get choked if we don't go." It was like she made it sound like he was abusing her, but this was something that was going on in the bedroom behind closed doors. But the way she stated, "I don't want to get choked again." And then he turns around and said, "I might just choke you out in public." And it'd be big black guy choke white girl in public. And I think that's the whole point of all of this going on and the reason behind the trouble. It sounded as if he was abusive to her, and that's how she made it sound with the recorded phone call. That's why I say it was all a setup.
That is fucking wild. Mind blown. Madam D, welcome to the show. Madam D is one of my fellow co-hosts on my other show on Thursday. I'll talk about that later. Go ahead, Madam D.
So yeah, I know like now a lot of women, I'm not into it, but a lot of women are into the choking thing. And if she did that on the recording, it would like set him up like he was causing her harm when in actuality it may have been something that they both enjoy doing. And so I think as I'm not gonna say as Black men, I'm just gonna say as successful Black men and women, that the further you go up, there are going to be more things that will come at you and more people that will try to set you up. And you just have to be intentional. Excuse me. You have to be intentional with the things that you do and how you move, because one act can just ruin you pretty much and take off money.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why, and you saying that just solidifies that he earned that he had to hold that L. And on the other show I did, Tantalize and Talk, we talked about age gap dating, and yes, so I said F it. Yes, he knew, he just didn't care. But anyway, a lot of times we look at things, and we did a show on age gap dating, and when I did the research, the socially acceptable rule is for the younger one twice the age minus 7, for the older one half the age plus 7, and that would give you, for example, I'm 58. I should go no lower than half my age, 39 plus 7, 45. And
I'm sorry, but in some circles they still say that would be too young for you.
That's too old for you.
But no, in some circles that will be too young for you. In some circles that would be like, oh, why do you want a grandma? Or stuff like that. And take it for somebody who has always dated older people. I've done that because I have daddy issues. So I know why. It took me a long time and a couple of sessions in therapy to realize that I have daddy issues and I allowed these men to basically abuse me, because that's what it was. That's what it is. And it's always going to be like that, in my opinion. That's just, I'm sorry, but that's just, yeah, it's just 10 years is fine. But when you come to 15 and 20 years, you need to think about that. Now the younger person is in a geriatric relationship and you got to worry about your husband or your mate or your wife dying on you, or you have to take care of them.
Yeah, but
Same,
that's the risk you taking when you choose that.
yeah. Yeah,
Well,
but as a younger person, you're not thinking that. You thinking like, as far as in my generations, when I was growing up, I go down with a older man because he has something. He's going to give me this out. I could get wardrobes and I could get bills paid and stuff like that. You're not thinking about when that man has a stroke,
I'm
getting
hoping
too excited
don't
with
have
you,
that stroke
or
while-
be like Mister and drop right on you, and you just like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
I'm just hoping he's a moment and I can get that check because he liked me enough to write me in the will.
Nope. His illegal wife is going to get that money, and children's going to get the inheritance, and you going to be.
Yeah,
Excuse me, you gonna have a wet panty and empty pockets. Okay.
Oh, I just got a proud.
Summer has her hand up. Go ahead, Summer.
I think this would be a great segue into another show where we talk about something called hospice wife. When y'all get a chance, look that up.
Oh, I know who she is, but I ain't about to be her.
Oh no, that's exactly. I was trying. Thank you for saying it because I couldn't think of the word. Thank you.
Oh,
I said geriatric, but it's hospice. Yes, thank you.
No, we'll talk about
And that's the thing. It's we understand it's not really an easy subject to discuss because there's so many different dynamics, and we don't really, I don't think we can go below surface without it getting heated. That's life. But at least we're talking about it, having those conversations. Now, me personally, being almost 60, I am not going to get with a 30-year-old. I
mean, who's that football coach, the old guy from
Bill Belichick?
Yeah, with that young girl.
Yeah. She's probably
the old man who just
he loves her so she loves him so much. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yes, sis.
Oh,
When you with someone with such a big, age gap, what do you have in common other than sex?
And money.
And
His
money.
money.
And
his
money.
money.
That's
his money. Exactly.
We know.
No, listen to the word. His money.
Yep.
His money. That's the common denominator. His money.
But
it's not the sex, because the person who's receiving the sex is not enjoying it. They
don't have to enjoy it. They just have to be there.
Yeah. So it's not even the intimacy. It's the monetary, always. And then just like what you said, Bill, she married him. He married her, so she's okay. She gets insurance, and the kid and her children gets inheritance, so she's good.
Yeah, and that
She
like
was
I said,
the so-called
things.
smart one. I'm sorry, don't laugh at me. I'm just telling you, in my 48 years, and yeah.
But I got you.
Money,
go ahead, Ms. Green.
Speaking about can pertain to any relationship,
right?
Because I feel like you can have same age relationships or symbiotic relationships where money's going to be. If you're in it for the money, you're in it for the money. I feel like when you're older, it's perceived as somehow to be worse, or I don't know, more negative. But there's a lot of couples where they're in it for the money and they're in the same age or they're in close in age. I mean, and same thing goes for the sex. So I don't know if that is, I think with Shannon Sharpe, it's just, to me, like you said, it's like, why deal with someone? Like when you deal with people below your caliber to that level, and you are on a different trajectory and trying to come up, you're risking it all for what? But maybe it was really worth it for him. So we don't know. I mean, he might be, of course, got to save face and act like he like feeling some type of way out here about it, but he might be like, wow, I got to do everything I wanted to do, whatever, with this young girl. So I feel like at the end of the day, yeah, we look at it as like,
and Madam D agrees with you, Miss Dream, but you have a valid point, and you have a very salient point. My thing is that we probably need a societal reset, especially in our community, because we've strayed from what I know our forefathers and mothers are looking at us and like, we went through all this so you can act a fool. And I'm just saying, I'm just talking about the body, not individuals on here, because I know y'all clean living, non-smoking, non-drinking, non-cussing folk that go to church every day and read your Bibles every night. I know that's what y'all are.
but even
And then he woke up and realized the reality of life.
They're called priests.
Gosh, but yeah, but it's one of those things. Like I said, everybody on the panel, with the exception of me, has a girl, and Bean has a granddaughter, but not a daughter. And so I said, F it on YouTube said, guys like Shannon know they are wit types. He can say and do what he wants. He can't do that with an established, educated, fairly strong woman. Y'all agree or disagree with that?
I disagree, because if that is her closet aspect of life, then that's what she's going to do.
Yes.
If that's her comfortable, if that's what I want, if I want to be choked, bashed in the head, and my insides ripped out by this big black man, then that's what I want. But again, you in my atmosphere may not even know that, because guess what? Only certain people are going to get to that level with me because of my status. So everybody gonna know my business, except for that one.
Well, maybe that's why he should have made a better selection. Maybe he was just lazy about it.
That's one thing.
No, he went for. I told you that he's got a type, and that's his type. Go ahead, Madam D.
So yeah, what if he's dealing with we're thinking like in rationality, but what if he's dealing with someone that has that don't take care of their mental health needs? Like it could be somebody bipolar or psychotic. I just feel like he could have did a better job trying to screen, rather than a lot of times guys will get caught up and it's all about the visual and this woman is freaky, but you need to know what's going on in their head as well.
That's that lower level thinking,
right?
But that could just.
But he found her on the OnlyFans.
He probably slid into her
That was his
DM.
screening.
Probably have our own OnlyFans.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know what's gonna happen on it until you go live.
I think it's also about power dynamic as well, because I'm not going to say all of the women or all the people that participate on OnlyFans have low self-esteem and maybe some mental issues, but maybe half do. And people that go after those certain type of other people, that have their whole business out on display and making money. Some people find power in that, in and of itself, but there are some really.
Thanks for watching. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce, saying, never make love by the garden gate, though love is blind, the neighbors ain't.